Welcome to the PSNORKIS podcast, a show with real topics discussed by real people with real opinions and tempered with a real sense of humour. Now here are your two PSNORKISers. Or is it PSNORKI? Screw it. Here are your hosts, Dr. Myke and the Madman.
Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic. Whoa!
Good afternoon and welcome, friends. It's good to be back. It seems like it's just been forever since we've been on, but actually for you guys, it's been, I think, since last week. So, that's all right. What? I'm sorry, say it again.
Can't hear you. Speak up.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I have not changed the microphone setting.
Yeah, temporarily deaf.
Maybe it's because the music was up. Maybe I didn't pull it down enough.
Well, maybe. I can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry about that. Hey, I'm out of practice. It has been
way
3
too long.
weeks.
Yeah,
it's been
way
3
too
weeks
long.
since we've done this.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like riding a bike.
we had a couple on the can, so hopefully our listeners had some things to listen to this past week.
They did.
But it was done a little while ago because we have such varying schedules. You were away.
I was away.
Yeah, which is why. And you and I usually will do one every week, sometime during the weekday, just the two of us.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to even do that. It's literally been 3 weeks since I've sat here in front of this microphone.
Yeah, man.
And
it's
I
time.
guess I lost some of my skills.
No, you
it's
did
been
good.
a while.
No, you're good.
Oh, well.
It's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
you went down to Disney.
I did.
So we're going to be talking about that.
We are, for sure.
So,
For
yes.
sure. I'm excited.
But with us today, of course, we have our lovely producer, Petey.
Hello, PSNORKIS people.
Hey, Petey.
We also have my brother, Tim.
Hey,
He's
brother.
the only one with an actual name.
Well, that's a nickname. Tim.
Tim.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know his real name.
Tim, TJ, whatever.
There you go.
TJ.
It's all good.
There you go, TJ.
Like BJ
I like
at the
it.
Loop.
Yeah,
Like
TJ at
BJ.
the Nice.
And another guest joining us here, and she's going to be a regular as best as she can make it too, is a very dear friend of mine. We have known each other, I did the math, 48 years.
That poor woman. Oh, my
Wow. Since birth.
goodness. I'm so sorry.
Well, okay, we'll go with that.
I don't know about
It both
y'all,
makes
but I'm
us
only
seem
31
younger. I
years
like
old.
that.
Yeah, right.
I'm 26, so that's a long
On my
time.
right, I have my good friend. We're just going to call her Rocket.
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 Yeah, Rocket.
I like rockets.
She's a rip.
Yeah.
Oh, she is that.
I thought it was a terror.
That too.
Yeah. That's a good name, Rocket. I like that.
Yeah, like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
It just
exciting.
came to me.
Yeah, it's good.
I really didn't know what to say, and it just came out, and it seems to fit.
Thank you.
So
Rockets
we'll
are
work
good.
with that.
Yeah. Welcome, Rocket.
Well, thank you, Dr.
Hey,
Myke.
speaking of rockets,
Uh-oh.
did you hear that William Shatner is actually going to be going
I
up into
did hear
space?
that. Yeah,
Yes.
he's like 90.
Yeah, did
right?
they do it this week, or are they doing it next week?
I don't know.
I'm
I
not
don't know
sure
when they're
I
doing it,
heard,
but yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't think he's going to make it.
Going up with Bezos and his team.
He's not going to make it.
But
They're
they have
gonna
to make a
float him.
delivery.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to make the trip.
Well, he's going to go
You know,
one
the only
way, and then they're
reason-
going to send him out into
Where
space.
no man has gone before.
The only reason Bezos is going up there is because he wants to set up an Amazon route to the International Space Station
There
so
you
he can
go.
make deliveries.
Yes.
Why not? He goes everywhere else.
All right.
Got the
Anyway.
money. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's going.
So,
I love the Amazon truck. It pulls into my house at least 3 times a week.
us too. It's like
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
every day. It is. We're bad. Yeah.
It's so much I
We're
don't
bad.
even remember what I order half the time.
Well, you see, my new Mandalorian helmet finally came yesterday.
That's
It was
awesome,
finally
man.
available. That came yesterday, courtesy of
Yeah.
But so anyway,
It's nice.
yeah,
It's overseeing us. I like that. Yeah.
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 So many things. That I know it's going through your head.
So
I know
many.
it's going through my
I
head.
know,
and
I
we're
know.
trying so hard not to let it slip into the microphone. So we're just.
No, not just yet.
Not yet.
Do you know what I just ordered?
Uh-oh.
What's that?
Tim will love this.
Uh-oh.
Eyelashes.
Nice.
No glue, though.
No glue.
No glue.
Just eyelashes.
Self-adhesive.
How do they
right?
stick on if they don't have glue?
No, actually, they now
That's
sell
I don't know.
eyeliner that's actually glue, so it's black like eyeliner,
Okay.
and it has the adhesive mixed into it, so that if you screw up your glue, it doesn't show.
Nice.
So that way, if you
Okay.
get it in your hair, you don't have to cut out the.
It comes off with a little work.
There you go. I'd probably drop acid in my eye or something like that anyway.
I was just thinking when I take them off, I could strategically place them on someone else's body, downside up. And
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You're still evil.
What's going on
I
here?
love about you.
Put a couple of eyelashes on the old booby and
yeah.
a happy face underneath.
How did we get here?
You've seen the guys with the whistling bellies?
Yeah.
You could make them look like eyes. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm an alien. I don't have a belly button. So,
Oh, God, a freak of nature.
yeah.
Ow, of surgery anyway. He had. Never mind.
He really has no belly button.
No, he really doesn't have one.
No.
It was
does that
surgically
mean?
removed.
Yeah.
I was born in a cabbage patch, man.
Great. That explains a lot.
I'm so confused right now. I'm so confused.
When one of
Because
the
you've been away for 2 weeks. You've been down in Florida for 2 weeks.
Man, I
dude.
am way out.
they let you name those babies yourself. One of my daughters had a really ugly cabbage
Oh,
patch.
cabbage.
named
Cabbage
Patroon.
kids are from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name was Patroon.
Some of them now are worth some big money.
Patroon.
Patroon.
I don't know why her name was Patroon. That's what they named
Not
her.
even a real name.
Sounds like spittoon. Maybe she just couldn't pronounce it right.
I don't know. The baby was pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The good news is she's grown now and she has a real baby and she's got a nice name.
So tell me this. How ugly was she?
Wow, thank you.
She was so ugly
was
that her
so
mama had
ugly.
to tie a pork chop to her to get the dog to play with her.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. My brother was ugly like that. We
Yes,
used to
he
feed
actually
him mashed
was, yeah.
potatoes from across the room like that. Just get a potato ball and throw it at him.
Sounds painful.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He started in the movie Goonies. You ever see Goonies?
Yeah.
I was wondering
Yeah,
about that.
Captain Chunk.
That was my
Yeah.
brother. He was back there. It was
Not me. His other brother.
my other brother from another mother.
Yeah.
A lot of things made sense for a minute. Now he
Thank you.
pulled the carpet
Thank
out
you
from
so
under.
much. Go
Yeah.
back to Florida.
Wow. Wow.
That's sloppy.
Wow, that's a good welcome home party.
Welcome
Yeah,
home.
that's- boy. Yeah. I feel like I never left.
Nobody loves you like your friends.
Yeah, that's it. Boy.
Nobody loves you like family.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good family. Good stuff.
So what did you do on your vacation?
I did so many things. Do we want to get into this now? Or do you want to do history
Let's
first?
do history.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
it's our
I have
history
so much
lesson.
to do.
Petey, I know because you were doing some research on this.
I
Yeah, a
miss
little bit.
history.
Today is, what is it?
It's
October
something.
10th, isn't it?
Close
No,
enough.
9th.
It's the 9th.
It was October.
It's definitely
It's
the 9th.
definitely
Because
October.
somebody's birthday is on Monday.
Ooh.
Somebody's is.
Ooh.
Yes.
And it's national, what is it? Something day.
Probably Freak Day. I don't know.
No,
Petey's
there's
birthday?
There's a holiday.
Yeah,
Columbus Day.
Monday's Petey's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Yes.
PD.
It's
Thank you.
even though you're Polish, that's all right. Well,
Yeah.
it's an Italian day. Even though he didn't discover America, but that's okay.
No, Leif Erikson did that.
That's right. You're absolutely correct.
My father wanted to name me Christine, and my mother won that one, unfortunately.
I like the other one better anyway.
Yeah.
You think Christine would be better?
Yeah. I never liked my name.
There's a whole bunch
Why?
of them floating around, though, and variations thereof.
Yeah.
And
It's
every
very-
Christine I've ever met is Chrissy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. There's very few PDs running around.
Oh, that's
right.
true.
Yeah, I like that.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, one thing's for sure. You can always order pizza as a guy if you have a cold or a sore throat.
That's
Give
right.
me a large pie.
That's right.
What's your name? Petey.
Yeah.
Nobody messed with me as a kid.
I'll get PD after you. I made him think. Yeah.
And I was mean when I was little. Of course, I'm kind of mean now.
Some things have not changed, people.
Well, some people just
Have
bring
you
out
lost the
best in
keys
you.
lately there? Have you ever lost the keys after? Oh, no, you don't
Oh, I had
remember.
a fit. He doesn't remember. He forgets. You remember.
I remember.
Oh, my God. I was so mad at
I'm
him.
like,
Yeah, it was not my best moment.
I was ready to run.
Which one?
I
the
had a
sometimes
fit.
disease.
See, he lies and says we never fight. He just doesn't remember.
We don't really fight. I mean, we argue, but I wouldn't call it, because what I've seen other people, including my parents, do is what we have is not what I call a fight. But anyway,
Yeah, well, we
It's an
don't throw
aggressive
punches
discussion.
or anything.
Clearly, their disagreements have weighed heavily on him.
Yes.
Yes, clearly.
Or he forgot all about him. It's one or the other.
Keys. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
This must have been a few years ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about the garage.
He really doesn't remember.
It's all mind over matter, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, it don't matter.
It don't matter. Well,
All right, so history.
happy birthday, Petey.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
In 1138, the most destructive earthquake ever strikes in Aleppo, which is in northern Syria. There were 230,000 deaths in 1138. I didn't know there were that many people in the world then.
Yeah, it's just Syria. So,
So that was on the
That was October 11th.
October 11th.
Yeah.
coming up.
Wow.
Anniversary and all you Syrians.
There you go.
There you go. You look forward to that? No, maybe not. Well, we'll never forget. Okay.
1773, America's first insane asylum opens.
That is
Now we're talking.
that is definitely something to celebrate.
Yeah.
Is that Rikers?
It was Eastern State Hospital in Williamsburg, Virginia. I actually thought maybe it was in Pennsylvania.
Me too. I would
Maybe it
have
was
guessed.
the
I
bread.
would've-
Yeah.
Whoa. We were just talking about Virginia.
Yeah.
Lots of. So the first insane asylum.
Yeah. Williamsburg.
See, them Virginians are crazy.
That doesn't surprise
Right, because they can't
me.
get out of the state.
Yeah. That just goes on and on.
When you're driving, it does go on.
That'll drive you nuts, man. See?
Oh, I like what you
See
did there.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that.
In 1892, the first school children recited the Pledge of Allegiance. There were 12 million American children who said it, and it was to commemorate the 400-year anniversary of Columbus's voyage.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
All things that we can't do anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't mention Columbus. And,
Oh, you
Yeah.
guys can't do
Nobody
that
does.
stuff here.
well, they frown upon it now.
Oh,
Now it's indigenous people
we
or something like
we
that.
do we do.
I'm indigenous.
Yeah.
I was born here.
Me too.
Oh, wait. I was born in Jersey. That's not really...
Oh, that's true.
yeah,
that's
me
I was-
too. Yeah, me too. You're right. You're right. Me too.
They can only have an earthquake like in Syria.
We really don't like to
in
admit
New
to
Jersey.
that. We really don't.
Well, you're not from. Where were you born? Here?
And then Cabbage Patch. I
Yeah,
told you.
He's from Jersey. I'm from Jersey.
Oh my God, Rocket! I'm so sorry.
Joycey.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Actually, I've been torn my whole life. My mother's from Phillipsburg and my father's from Easton.
Oh my God. Okay.
Battleground in
Little
our house every
battleground.
year.
Yeah.
Holidays were hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Jeez. All right. so-
In 1980, Pope John Paul II greets the Dalai Lama in the Vatican for a private meeting.
Do you know what the first words were out of the Pope's mouth that day?
No, I do not.
Salam, salam, balone.
Yeah, that's Italian.
You know, the Pope wanted a girlfriend. You know that, right?
Uh-oh.
He
They
did?
said, yeah, it's just Pope needs a girlfriend, and they shot him down. They just said, "Hey, you're not gonna have no girlfriend. It don't look good." You know, it's just yeah.
Do you know that the priests used to get married?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
That was long before the priest started raping altar boys.
Yes, it was.
Okay, all right.
Let's just go for the
Oh
jugular.
my God! Did I say
Going
that?
right there.
You know,
And maybe if they let them get married, they'd stop
Factual.
molesting children.
Oh, my
right?
goodness.
Right? I agree with you 100%.
You know why? Do you know why they made them stop? The church did not want to pay for the Catholic families because, you know, there's no birth control either.
That's
So,
right.
You know, they didn't want to pay for 14 little babies
So
running
they're-
around the church.
do you-
It's all about greed, not
Yeah, it
about
is.
religion and
Yep.
belief.
Well, no, and there's nowhere in the Bible that says that a man should be celibate. It actually says
Oh, no.
that he should find a mate.
That's right.
Yeah, it does, yes.
You think Dalai Lama was talking about some of this stuff? when he-
To the Pope.
The Dalai Lama
So
actually.
what's it like to wear a dress and never have sex?
Those folks are celibate. They're celibate
Yeah.
when everybody's watching.
Yeah, when they're watching.
When nobody's watching.
Yeah,
then
when
it's, you
nobody's
know,
watching.
They lift up the skirt.
Sure.
Right, yeah.
The breeze is better
Run
too.
sheep.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Run sheep. Oh, no, Dalai Lama, not Scotland.
All right.
Yeah.
Men are men and sheep are scared.
Exactly.
Boy, that just took a huge turn from Dalai Lama to
How about
priest
it?
to wow, to sheep. Now we're in Scotland.
That's what we do here.
Should we talk about nuns now?
No.
Well, you know why they're called nuns.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
so one nun makes sure the other nun don't get
Getting none. Yeah, it's all about getting none.
Getting none.
None. None for you, none, for me.
Oh,
None.
None.
none. Yeah. All right. Yes.
But they do have bad habits.
They do.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do have bad habits.
I don't even know what I walked in on. I really just don't know what just.
All the pent up energy
It's
because
been a lot,
we
yeah.
haven't done this in
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Sharp lefts.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you go away.
All right. I'm sorry.
In 2006, North Korea conducts its first nuclear test.
Yeah, we should have wiped them out then.
We should have.
2002. So that was it.
And then what would we have done with Korean barbecue? I mean,
Oh, no, that
That's
came
what
from South Korea.
South Korea.
We don't mind South Korea.
Besides, it was
Yeah.
already here. They'd have taught
North-
the next generation.
Yeah. We'd have probably a lot more puppy dogs running around. Too. What? I'm just saying.
no, you're confused. It's not puppy dog. Cats.
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 Well, cats was
Cats
China.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
They all
White dog
immigrated.
somewhere.
Oh, there's cats in the kettle at the
I never learned this much in history class ever.
Me neither.
Never.
Where's
So,
our
there we
PSNORKis?
go.
I think we should be shaking
Oh, my
that.
Oh, you
goodness.
know what? They're back there. I had to rearrange the table. They're sitting back over there. Rocket, pass those out. Yeah, you can reach them.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Have to call.
There we go. That's it.
One for
It's
you.
The PSNORKis.
One for you.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
In 2018,
Ooh, I get the
Hurricane
pink one.
Michael
Thank you.
made landfall in the
Thank you.
panhandle of Florida as a Category 5.
Ooh.
I remember that.
Were you there? You were there, right?
We were in Orlando. We
Orlando,
were in.
yeah.
We were at Disney, and everybody in Western Florida went to Disney.
No,
Safest place.
I'm
to be.
not
During
kidding.
the
not kidding.
hurricane?
We were done. Yeah.
We can compare pictures of.
Well, what happened was they had to move from the area that they were at.
Yeah, they evacuated and they all
And they
went.
went
And
to
so they
Disney?
To
decided
Disney.
we were either going to go up and out of the state, or we'll just go to Disney for the week until it passes through.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it was not
Disney
my
didn't
favorite.
get
No, just
We
by
had a lot of rain.
waves of people.
Yeah, waves of people. It was
It
awful.
was a tsunami of idiots.
Oh boy.
My son was there.
It's safe in
had
the castle.
He actually had to work. He was at ground zero.
Oh, was he?
Bad news.
Was that the base? Or was this before?
The whole Pensacola area,
Yeah.
Navarre.
Yeah, I hadn't heard how bad it was because while we were in Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was up high, so there
Yeah.
was no escaping it. So they came down and like, oh, we'll just stop at Disney. And
So it was.
Well, that
My
area frequently
daughter-in-law-
gets
or
hit.
was it?
My daughter-in-law went west. She went the other side of Texas. Her and my grandson.
Oh,
So
okay.
They did okay.
Yeah,
A
2001.
lot of damage.
That was 2018.
18
Oh,
is just
18.
2 years.
Yeah, that's the last
3 years
time we
ago.
were
It was
there.
the last time we went to Disney. Yeah,
That's pretty much because I was like, I've had enough of this.
Wow, was that bad?
Yeah.
it really was. It really was.
Well,
You have
people.
to remember September
you
and
know.
October are
Hurricane season.
month.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it
right.
actually
Months,
runs
yep.
from June until November.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long.
Yeah.
You know, and most of the time it doesn't really hit Florida. It hits the tip of Florida. It doesn't usually hit.
Just the tip it hits.
Just the
usually.
tip.
Yeah.
It depends on where it spins up at. I mean,
But
you know, when
usually
it comes
it's
off the west
straight
coast
up
of
through.
Africa, or west
Oh, yeah.
coast of Africa, it'll, that's just the
Of course,
trade winds.
The ironic thing, it's not lost on me that Florida looks like the penis of the United States just hanging off there
Only,
into the
only
ocean.
you would think of that. Though.
There's no nutsack.
Oh boy. You ever know anyone that carries a nutsack?
Just him.
Just him.
Just me.
All right.
Apparently, it's very large.
I've heard.
No, actually, his
It
his is actually the medium size. They make a bigger one.
There's one size bigger.
Yeah.
But he told me he carries his gun in there.
I do. Ladies
spot
and
for
gentlemen,
him.
we're talking about the nutsack satchel, which is a
Are we?
man purse.
Basically a man purse, but they're a little bit cooler than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Nobody's
that is the
gonna
brand
tell-
name is the Nutsack. I think it's awesome. It's great marketing.
We should actually have them as a sponsor.
That's
There
a
you
good
go.
idea. Go
Somebody
after them.
approach him. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a salesman person. That's not.
Come
that's
on,
not
you
my
like
goal.
talking
We can
about
market that.
nutsack.
Well,
If you
yeah.
go over and
Well,
say,
mine
"Hey,
anyway."
I'm your guy." Oh.
Yeah, but he does it. He says, you want to see my nutsack? And people want to beat him up.
I
Yeah.
never
Nobody's
get
going to
told.
argue with Tim carrying around his nutsack. He looks like he might hurt you if you really got in his
Yeah.
way.
Hey, you over there. Come here over here. You know, I want to show you my nutsack.
Oh my goodness!
Sounds like a line you hear
In
the-
theater class,
or in the men's room at the Chicago airport. One or the
yeah.
other.
Huh?
I was thinking of pickup line at the local bar.
Poor Chicago.
Nah, at Chicago Airport is a lot of A.
Yeah.
You know, a lot
B.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
See me here.
How you doing, eh?
I don't know. I don't
How
know.
did we get to Chicago? From a hurricane or whatever.
I think my PSNORKIS was
You're
broken.
holding too high up.
It's just limp. That's all.
You got to hold him down
Get
the
some
bottom.
blood flow.
It is limp.
There you go.
Anybody got any liquid Viagra I could put on it?
Boy.
There it is.
You want to?
What else happened? in
Yeah, yeah.
history?
You know what they say? If you
save
shake
us?
it too many times, you're playing with it.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with
Look
that.
at the smile on that PSNORKIS.
I know, he's very happy.
Nothing wrong with that. It
Snorkel.
conforms to the norms of society. I know that the psychiatrist told me that.
My happy little PSNORKIS.
Yeah, nice.
We have some birthdays this week.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah, Petey.
Say-
Hey, happy birthday,
Yes,
Petey.
happy
Petey to the
birthday.
rescue.
Yay, thank
Yay.
All right.
Scott Bakula.
Oh, yeah.
Who that is?
Scott Bakula
He
did
was-
Quantum Leap.
Yeah, Quantum Leap guy.
Star Trek Enterprise, Captain Archer.
That's why you don't know him, because he liked
Or
it.
just
Yeah, yeah.
up until recently, until the show ran to its conclusion, NCIS New Orleans.
Well, I never saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was
Yep.
that good?
You didn't miss
Scott
much.
Bakula.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, I liked it.
You did?
It was
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
you did.
I watched it.
Quantum Leap was okay.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
He's got some bad legs for a woman.
Right? That was a great show.
I like the
It was a lot of
Orville.
fun.
I don't know why they ever canceled that.
Which
that
one?
was
The Orville is actually still running. It's just not on network TV. It's on one of the streaming services.
I
that
looked, and the only
figures.
thing I could find is,
think they have
is
one
the
more
original,
season.
the original season. That was
No,
it.
I think they're in the 3, and I think they're going into another one.
I'm gonna have to
You'll
look
have to
again.
find it for him then.
Because I got
No.
Hulu, I've got Netflix, Disney,
I forget which one
Amazon.
it's on.
They would all be great sponsors. Just saying.
Yeah,
Just saying. They'd be all great sponsors. Nutsack would be too, though.
yeah. Nutsack
Actually-
is something that is actually very useful.
Well, some
I can imagine you guys being in a classroom together. That poor teacher.
You know, I can remember in high school we were in ag class, and
Okay, birthdays. Scott Bakula, yes.
Tanya Tucker.
boy, talk
Tanya
about getting
Tucker.
cut short. You know,
Yeah.
That girl's
Gavin
lived a
Newsom.
rough life.
Gavin Newsom, wow.
don't make me get out my nutsack.
Oh my goodness.
Cut me short one more time.
David Morse.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Oy. I don't know any of
David
these
Morse.
people. Who are these people?
Gavin Newsom.
How about Emily Deschanel? You know her?
Ah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's that?
She
Bones.
is Bones.
Bones.
Yes.
Matt.
You don't
I
watch TV,
I don't
do you?
I don't watch Bones.
Hugh
Bones is
Jackman.
Well,
actually
Bones
great.
is gone.
I
Who?
know Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
His is the 12th.
That was the X-Men with the Wolverine. and-
Yeah,
That's
Wolverine.
What was the musical he just did?
He did a musical?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he can
was-
actually sing.
He
Showman.
was
The Greatest
showman.
Yeah.
Greatest Showman.
Awesome. Awesome movie.
P.T. Barnum. Yeah.
Yeah, did you
I guess
watch
it was
that?
P.T. Barnum
No.
story.
I haven't, but I heard it. I heard that was good.
Yeah,
It was
it's
very
super
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch that. Happy birthday to him, too.
Kirk Cameron. That's the last
Oh,
one.
everyone knows Kirk Cameron.
Yeah.
Kirk Cameron does weekly podcasts.
Yes,
Yes,
he does.
I've heard that.
Nightfire. No, not Nightfire. Campfire. Campfire
Is it?
Revival. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're just
Well,
spooky
he's a
stories.
minister now,
Oh,
right?
No, he's a
like
minister.
Christian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
We wouldn't.
Whole
I
bunch of
wouldn't
stuff.
get along with him.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, he does that. All right.
I have one death, and it's John Denver, 1997.
Take me home.
Country Roads.
Yeah.
You know, it's
He died
funny. I
in
was
the-
just watching him on YouTube.
No, you didn't.
Were
He's
you?
dead.
I know he's dead.
Oh.
The video's still.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it could be like Michael Jackson and just being like a
I just
Hologram.
watched, you know what I just watched? That This Is It special. Did you see that?
no.
When he was getting ready to do his final tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch that. It's pretty
Oh,
awesome.
I will.
Yeah. Just watch that.
Still a big
I'm sorry.
fan.
Yeah, me too. We had a whole topic on him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like,
we did.
I like Thriller and Smooth Criminal.
Yeah, awesome.
It's just phenomenal choreography.
Yes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and to move like that, I mean, it shit's got to hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd think.
It's just amazing how many artists talented, super talented artists we have lost in the last, I want to say, 5 years.
Yeah.
It's been a lot.
Yeah. Actually, we've lost a lot in the
Prince
last
is
5
gone.
years.
Bowie's gone.
Bowie's gone. They don't pop up to my head. Tom Petty.
Yep, Petty's gone. Yeah, there's,
That was more than 5 years, wasn't it?
No.
Tom Petty?
Nope, they're all pretty recent.
Right.
And so it's had a huge impact on music.
Oh, and Billy from the ZZ Top.
That
Just-
was recent.
Yeah, that was only
They
a few
just
weeks
lost the
ago.
drummer to Rolling Stones,
Rolling
just passed
Stones, yeah,
away.
yeah.
One of the members of Cream just passed
Yeah.
away.
Yep.
Right.
And I still
Also
got
the
their
drummer.
album,
He was
Cream
also the
Wheels
drummer
of
for
Fire.
Cream.
I still have that album.
Yep.
Actually, I had a gentleman on my table in my studio was telling me that the drummer for the Rolling Stones actually wanted to play jazz music.
Mm-hmm.
He did not want the gig with the Rolling Stones. He did not want to do it. Like he just read a whole biography on them, and that's what he was sharing with me. I thought that was pretty amazing. Like it's one of the best known bands in the world.
Right, yeah.
I didn't want that gig. They kind of talked me into it. Changed his life
Sometimes
forever.
sometimes you don't know what you want, Unanswered prayers.
You can't always get what you want.
Yep. But sometimes you get what you need.
Could you imagine if he had not taken
Although I
it?
think more people need to get what they deserve in this world, but that's what we'll get to that another time too.
Kind of reminds me of your friend Chuck, who kind of
Yeah.
didn't get what he deserved.
No, he didn't.
He was in a band.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
They do tell.
We should have him on.
We should have him on.
He would like to. Yeah, let's save that one and we'll.
What happened? Give me the short
Okay,
story.
real quick story.
I can't remember
He
the
was in a
band he
band.
was
I'm trying to
in.
remember. I'm trying the name of it.
Local band?
Yeah, kind of.
It evolved into a little known group called Cinderella.
Ah.
He
That's
got
a little known.
sidelined just before the first tour, before they even had picked the new name,
Right.
with appendicitis.
All right.
By the time he was ready to go, and back then, it took more than 2 days to recuperate from it. They had already replaced him.
Wow.
Yep.
No loyalty there.
No,
Nope.
none.
So what was the name of the band
I
after that?
can't remember what it was before that.
Huh. That sucks.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
He'll tell the story. We'll have him on one day.
Yeah, that'd be a
But-
cool story
but-
to hear.
Didn't they lead a very destructive
That might be a
lifestyle for
blessing
a
in
while?
disguise.
again,
Yeah.
So,
for-
maybe
for
we
him,
would not be able to talk to Chuck now.
Right, exactly.
That's true. And he's very thankful. Don't
Yeah.
take me wrong. He is not sad
No,
life
he's not.
happened the way it did because he has a beautiful family now.
Yeah,
And he
which
probably wouldn't have.
happened. Right.
No,
if he
he'd
had
have gone
with
on
the
tour
band.
and partied and raised 40 kinds of hell. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, believe me, the other band he was in, they did a little bit of that too back in the 80s, early 80s.
Yeah, but there's a difference between
That type of
doing
Cinderella's
stuff
a-
here
yeah.
and in local and then
and doing it around the world.
yeah, going
Yeah.
around the world. That's a totally different ball of wax.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to
Tour?
have to be out there on the road all the time doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, but if you love it.
Even
If you
weekend
love
gigs
doing
get
it.
tough when you're playing with a local band with your band. It's tough. You're trying to juggle a normal life Monday through Friday and be a party animal on the weekend, and something's got to give.
Sure, sooner or later.
It does.
You and I have both been through that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Tour in the world.
Although I do miss
Touring
playing-
local.
No,
just
local.
performing
Just-
locally.
I do miss playing drums in bands.
And I miss singing, but
Hmm.
it's one of those things.
Well, it's good. You don't want
Speaking of singing,
Yes.
I hooked up with a
Singer?
Professor Dr. Roger Hale from Dixie State University, and I started taking singing lessons and not really lessons, just revamping what I used to have. When I stopped, I didn't have any of the anxieties that I do today, and that's been the biggest thing. We email back and forth, and he gives me little coaching tips to try, and it works a little bit, I guess. But I freeze up.
I always had stage fright. I found that my best friend was a glass of wine prior to climbing on stage and immersing myself in the music.
Just jumping in.
Because it's not that I can't sing, but if I spend too much time in my head, I'm done.
Yeah, and that's the big part that he says too is the breathing and relaxing and doing different things.
Enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's about
enjoying what you do.
it.
Yeah.
He said, don't go out there and sing for them. Just sing for yourself. Make yourself happy. And there's a bunch of stuff that he told me. Tremendous guy. He's got a really remarkable background. And if you heard him, just his vocal warm-ups for Dixie State University choir, you'd say, oh my God. And Madman, I used to sing barbershop harmony.
Yes,
and I mean, it was like perfect, But
well, you don't do it for money, I can tell you that.
oh no,
Not around here.
Not around here.
No, you do it because you enjoy it.
You must do it because you enjoy it, because
Yeah.
it might pad your nest a little bit, but it really doesn't do anything for you.
Like
You
a
could
little bit
never
of weekend money,
Yeah, it's definitely not your 9 to 5 or pay your mortgage kind of a job.
No.
But if it was, would you enjoy doing that?
Yes.
Yeah, see? So
They've asked me once, I was asked, if I could have been anything in the entire world, what would I want it to have been? And I have always said a country singer.
Yeah.
That's something I've always...
Well, it's never too late. Never too late.
You see what goes on out there. Everybody has to be, what's the term I want to use? Okay, you've got to have an image.
Yeah.
They promote an image.
Mm-hmm.
I had...
Middle-aged mother of 6.
Wow. They don't know that if you don't tell them that. They have your own, put out there what you want.
I think what ruined it is American Idol and America's Got Talent and
It like oversaturated.
Exactly.
everything
It's
with that.
And there are a lot of good singers
And
out there.
a lot of good talent, absolutely, without a doubt.
Actually, I think that whole scenario, that whole thing is just fixed because of people that had the good voices, and all of a sudden they're out and it's like, wait a minute, how?
Yeah.
You need to be promotable. They're looking for an image. You have to have the package.
Gotta sell Coca-Cola, man. Gotta sell it.
I had a friend growing up that she, great, beautiful voice, and Sony wanted to sign her, but they wanted her to cut her hair real short, change the way she dressed, do all that, and she said, no way. Then they didn't want her, no matter how great her voice was.
Yeah, so it's not
Just
about
crazy.
talent. It's about how moldable you are. What they can make you become, how they can make you look, fit into a mold and become what they want you to be.
Right.
There's a lot of that goes on, and it's sad.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do was just sit with a microphone in the local karaoke bar and sing Patsy Cline.
Yes.
And have them wonder
really
if it was the recording or if somebody was actually singing.
Yeah, because that's how good. Yeah, you don't think you ever heard her sing, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
So it's just, it's
So
just
you know
kind
what
of
it's-
hiding out, you know?
You sang Down by the River, right? Sing Down by the River?
She came down
Yeah,
the
that's what I
river,
thought.
by the river a few times. Yeah.
So that's a fun thing to do, to just kind of blend into the woodwork and let people wonder.
Yeah.
That would
good.
be fun.
It is fun.
Well, do you want to plug your business now? Your
No.
current business?
My current business?
Yeah, do you want to plug that now, or you don't have to? It's up to
No,
you.
I just,
Okay.
everything's word of mouth. We keep it
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
down low.
Let's give you the opportunity.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
There's a lot of.
But I highly recommend massage therapy to anyone.
There's a hint. Just saying. There's a hint out there.
Well, it's the way to go. I mean, it's
Yeah.
we keep-
Therapeutic, right? I need that.
and it detoxes the system,
Oh, I
and
love
and
detox.
everybody needs to be detoxed.
I need that.
Your body needs to have the circulatory system worked over.
Yeah.
That's what massage does. It speeds up the circulatory system, pulls the toxins out of the muscle tissue, and allows your body to get rid of them,
Yeah.
which is fabulous. Who doesn't want to feel better?
To do house calls.
I wouldn't mind.
Do house-
I haven't done house calls in a long time. I shouldn't say that. I actually did recently for somebody who had surgery because she couldn't get around.
Right.
But I mean, as a rule, I don't, because all the perks are in the studio.
Gotcha.
Hot
Yeah, yeah.
towels,
Yeah,
hot
yeah.
stones, cups, special lotions and potions, and it's worth it to come to me versus me chasing you down.
Yeah. And when
Just
they
get
come
all the
in the
extras.
studio, I'm sure you're like, all right, put your nutsack on the counter.
No, it's hanging on the pegboard.
hanging
over
on the
there.
pegboard.
You had to go there.
I was just wondering.
You
if,
had to go there.
Somebody with a nutsack came in.
No, my favorite subject, or the clients will come in and they're like, "Do I take everything off?"
Oh, that's a good question. Do they?
I'm like, whatever you're comfortable with, you're going to be draped. I'm not going to see anything. You know.
I wonder how many people just strip down and.
I will tell you, European women do not have the hang-ups that American women do.
Yeah.
They will climb on your table stark-ass naked.
Yeah,
they don't care.
I think I like European women.
They're just...
I don't have to go to Europe.
Because American women are raised with all kinds of stigmatisms attached to their nudity, which, I mean, from a professional point of view, I can tell you there is nothing more beautiful than the human body. Yeah. How well we are made.
Yeah.
How beautifully we are constructed and the things our bodies can do.
It is a pretty good design, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is a pretty good design from an engineering standpoint, honestly.
And think about it. You get a brand new baby, and they come with perfect little eyelashes and eyebrows and little tiny fingernails and toenails.
Yep. Well, that can lead us down.
The little bitty fingers with the little knuckle joints with the little wrinkles from the they're so
it's a miracle.
Oh yeah, it really is.
We can do a whole topic on that because
it is amazing.
Because we're all parents.
Plus
I'm sort of
one of the hot topics now is abortion and all that, and everybody's view is different on when life starts, when life begins. But we'll talk about that in a different one. I don't want to bring it down. So anyway, yes, beautiful naked bodies. Got you.
Yeah, so whatever somebody's comfortable with, I'm fine with, because after the first, I don't know, probably after your first 50 massages, you don't care. You don't care. Anatomy is anatomy, and that's just exactly how you're looking at it. Yeah. I actually love new bodies. Get a new body on the table, it's like your hands go in and they do an assessment of all the tissue on the back and stuff. You just kind of go over a body to feel where the tension is.
Yeah.
Like, where is that? I know it's here. I'm like, somebody's got something going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
You ever have a very inappropriate customer?
Twice in my entire career, and I've been at it for 25 years.
Wow. Where they were just blatantly like, all right.
Disrespectful. Very disrespectful.
Did you kick them out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was in a professional setting in a doctor's office, and I had a guy inappropriately proposition me.
Wow.
And his next appointment was with the dude that worked with us. He got an appointment with the guy.
Nice.
And he was given specific instructions to work him over. And a lot of guys are really homophobic about guys working on them.
I think I would be. I don't want a guy rubbing me down. Right?
I think if you go into massage with the idea that it's going to be an erotic thing, it's,
it depends on the attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I don't care whose hands are working on me as long as they're fixing what I've got going.
It's a holistic way of healing.
Yep.
And that's a big part of it.
But women are funny about men working on them. Men are funny about men working on them.
Yeah.
It's just, So
basically, if you're a guy and a massage therapist, you may as well quit. Nobody wants you working on them.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that they probably don't fare as well as females do, and not, no. Pretty women fare better than.
Well, does a woman want a woman masseuse, or do they want a man?
Women feel more comfortable with women. I mean, when's the last time you've watched one woman go to the bathroom by herself in a public setting?
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, they go to the bathroom in pairs, right?
Yeah.
Right, Petey?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 at a time. You have to have a friend.
Like nuns.
Do nuns go to the bathroom?
No, but they always walk in pairs. They're always two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
What
hence the March of the Penguins.
March of the Penguins.
that reminds me of a show that
Sorry, my fault.
That I had watched. I think it was on Netflix. And
called March of the Penguins?
No, it was The Handmaid's Tale, I think it was.
That's oh yikes!
I've heard that's really good.
I just can't. The
Handmaid's Tale.
I know of it, but I've never seen it.
It's where a religious sect or cult, if you want to call it that, they kind of take over the United States, and they take these girls and they're like they're handmaidens. So if the master of the house, or commander as they were called, if they couldn't have children, then what they would do is take the handmaiden, and she would have intercourse with this guy while the wife is there, okay, so that she can carry his baby.
Yeah.
It's
it's what they
far
did in
deeper.
the
That's
Middle
how.
Ages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, they walked in pairs, and we watched it and oh my God. Once you see the show, you just kind of like, you're glued. And
It's
then
a
you
movie
binge
or a
watch
series?
it. As
It's
a
a
series.
series.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Yep. Something happens where a lot of the female population becomes infertile,
Yeah.
and there's only a group, a smaller number of women that are actually able to reproduce, and they're basically held prisoner.
Used
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Yep, and they're used for reproduction.
Nice.
It's really a good show because they have one rebel. And she
We have one rebel.
We have one
She-
rebel, too.
She organizes.
We have one rebel.
She organizes
The mutiny.
escape and the mutiny.
I think our rebel would do the same.
I do
Yeah, I think
believe.
so.
Yeah, I think she would start.
Do believe. Looking
Yeah.
forward to getting her back, too.
Locked and loaded. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll have to check that out. Never heard of that. All right.
You ever heard of it? I've
No,
never watched it,
never.
but I have heard of it.
I find it disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would too, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
It's-
I
I'm
find
not
it
usually
disturbing.
into ones like stories like that.
It is because it's disturbing because because there are so many religions now that are so close to that, that being, enforced, that it makes you wonder, say, hey, what if this really happened?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Really
reproducing because you're made to, not because you want to.
Right.
That's just, yeah.
The story is a lot deeper than what we can tell.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna have a spoiler alert or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
You gotta
Yeah, I
watch
want
it.
to check it out. That's cool.
Legacy coffee.
Yeah. Let's take a sip of legacy coffee.
Yeah, we were getting too deep, weren't
Yeah,
we?
that's a
That's
minute
Dee's way
there.
of saying, okay, lighten it up a bit.
Yeah. Saw you fading over there. You all right?
No, I'm okay. The last 20 minutes, I've got like a headache. I
me your
don't
hand.
get too many headaches. But it's
Yeah, we
just
have
like
a
bugger.
masseuse on.
Give me your
but-
hand.
Oh.
So there's a trigger point.
Oh, we're learning a new trick.
Yeah, we are. Look, there's a handshake.
Well, here's the weird part.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me. No,
Yeah, it does
you
work.
can't stand up.
It does
tall.
work.
Just take a couple of deep breaths.
Okay, you talk amongst yourselves. 'Cause I'm going to be breathing over here.
She's squeezing
I'll
his
turn
hand.
my mic off so you don't
Is
hear
that
me
a
breathing.
specific spot?
It is. It's a trigger point. There's
For-
a
for
trigger
your
point
head?
zone for a headache. Yeah.
Is it working?
Yeah,
it's
actually,
working.
really is.
Nice. Something to this. Yeah. Ooh. Does it make you hear things in your head, Madman?
Well, yeah, but
Is it
it's the,
taking you
it's the
to-
music that I just turned on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not the boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom he was
The
experiencing
voices,
earlier.
they're always
Yeah,
there,
they're
so I'm
always
used
there.
to that.
Thought
I
this was
like them. They come up
drowning
with some
them
really
out.
good ideas.
Yes, they do.
Is this
Yes, they do. Who?
is this taking
Well, you're
you
right.
to,
They are kind of useless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this taking you to
Yeah.
a faraway land?
Yeah, it's a trigger point
Fabulous.
in the webbing of your thumb and your forefinger,
I'm gonna do it.
and it really does. It eases down a headache.
Yeah.
It's peculiar, but
I like this music. It's taking me to a far off land.
come back, come back.
I like it. out here.
Disneyland.
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 Yeah.
No, you don't want Disneyland. You want Disney World.
I've been to Disneyland.
Disney World.
I haven't been to land.
You don't want to go.
Disneyland
You
is
gotta go to
late.
It's in
California.
California.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I don't-
God, yeah.
Why would you want to go there?
I don't want
That's
to
a
go to
long
California
ride.
at all.
Yeah.
What's
It's
that
very
like?
small, what
It's
I've
full
heard
of
too.
liberals.
Yeah.
Is it?
We went out there. Well, I was stationed in San Francisco.
Maybe you need some water, Malcolm.
Debbie and I went out.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
No good. It's not like the
Don't
real
waste
thing?
your money.
Yeah. I think
So
if
what-
I'm,
Have
What's
they
every-
even reopened there since
don't know.
I
COVID?
don't
I'm
know.
not sure.
I know
Where?
Nancy's getting her hair cut again. I know that.
Oh,
So-
probably, yeah.
Have they opened where?
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
I would imagine. I mean, Disney World is open. I mean,
Yeah,
Disney
but
World is-
remember,
Yeah, but they
Florida,
didn't open.
California.
two
There's a
different.
little bit of a
yeah.
difference in
Yeah,
the
the country of California, they're
Yeah.
completely different.
They're
People's
whacked up.
Republic.
I don't know. My cousin danced for Disney for years and lost her job last year when COVID hit.
Really?
Yep, but I
Where?
know that
Disney in California?
in Disney in Florida.
In Florida. Wow.
Yep.
I'll tell you what I did not notice in Florida while I was there.
What?
So where I'm Disney, no longer characters walking around, no more parades. A very short
Not right
parade.
now. Yeah.
That's all part of the magic.
It
You know
is.
what I mean?
Yeah,
It is part of the
Especially when
magic.
you're a
And
little
and
boy or a little
I can
girl.
understand they're not doing it full bore yet, but hopefully it'll get back to that.
They're limiting the
That point.
crowds, and of course, when you do anything down
I
Main
don't know.
Street, it draws a crowd.
The
Crowds,
pictures,
I don't think- yeah.
pictures that you sent me,
There was
amazing stuff like that, getting ready for the fireworks and all that stuff.
There
It
was
looked
a
like
point-
there's
There
crowds
was
were
no
all that
social
limited to
distancing
me.
going on.
There was. I mean, they gave me a hard time because I wore gaiters down there. So neck gaiter. So
Oh, good. I thought you meant alligators.
Yeah,
'cause
so
Disney
we're
has a
alligator.
problem with those too.
well, the purse
Earrings.
matched the
Yeah,
shoes. Yeah.
okay.
So, but they would give me a hard time if we went. You had to wear a mask inside, or if you're on a ride that's inside, or you're standing in line inside. But if you're walking around, nothing. But
And gators are not acceptable.
yeah, the gators are not. And so I got in a fight with one of the ladies there because we're trying to go in, and me and my little guy have gator on. Can't come in, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. So after I waited in line for 20 minutes, okay, fine. So we get out, but then when we're watching the fireworks at night, everyone's sitting down, and you're trying to stay a couple feet. It's not 6. You're trying to stay a couple
Right.
feet apart. And at one point, they're just like, they made an announcement, everyone stand up and push as far as you can forward, all the way from, because there's tons of people in the back. And so we ended up standing up, and the entire crowd pushed to where everyone was jammed against each other. No one had anything on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now,
So that makes so much sense, doesn't
and
it?
there was, and I asked Petey, how many thousands of people can sit in there.
Oh, is that what that? Okay,
No, that's not what it was for. But
okay.
but that will come in like there. We decided 20,000 at
Yeah.
least.
Yes.
Oh,
in
sure.
that little from Main Street to the courtyard, and every single one of us jammed up against somebody, shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean? So now my neck gaiter doesn't matter anyway.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I had a little problem with that, but anyway.
Yeah, it's
It
one
makes
of
no sense.
it's one of my pet peeves right now is these masks. It's BS.
It is.
Any way you slice it, it's
Yeah,
BS.
it's a bunch of crap.
You're watching our local politicians at functions without masks
Yes.
on, but they're
Yeah.
telling me I need to wear one.
Yeah, well, it's rules for thee, but not for me. It's,
Yeah, it
It's
is.
been that way for a while, but it's really becoming more prevalent now. People are starting to really notice, like, wow, they really are elitists, aren't they? Yes, yes,
so
they
I'll
are.
go on a news, on the news flash and tell you that you need to do this and you need to do that, and I'll have my mask on while I'm talking to you and tell you what you need to do. But when I'm hanging out with my cronies, what
Well,
you don't
there's-
see, you don't need to know
there's-
about. Doesn't hurt anybody.
And I just posted this not too long ago that Dr. What's his face?
Fauci.
Yeah, telling us he's going to tell me when it's okay to gather with my family for Christmas.
Yeah, he's
And
like,
then-
oh, it's too soon to
and
say.
I
I'm like, no, it's
posted-
not. We already made our decision.
Well, I
we made our
posted-
decision last year that this year we're getting together, whether or not.
I posted pictures of
Period.
current football stadiums, all these people jam-packed together, and this
And,
guy's
oh my
going to tell
God,
me
nobody
about,
got sick today.
and look
Holy
at-
crap! Imagine that.
I just went with 20,000 other people that were standing shoulder to shoulder,
Yes.
but I can't see my
First of
family.
all, that
You
that,
know,
that man has
this
lost
clown- he's a
any
clown.
possible credibility that he used to have.
Yeah,
He has lost.
Oh, yeah.
in the
Yeah.
last year.
I agree.
Every time he opens his mouth, I hear more flip flopping than at a Jimmy Buffett concert.
So, yeah, so that was that was one of the things I have. But Disneyland magical, still magical. Still, I can't wait for us to go back because we need to do a show
I
there.
can't wait to go.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, yeah, we should. We should do a show there.
I do want to share this little bit.
We wouldn't do it actually in the park. It would be too difficult for
No,
me to
but
do
we
it.
could discuss
But we
this.
can.
We can do it. We'll figure it out.
We
And
can
once
figure out a way.
Once we
There
get a
are ways.
sponsor from NetSuck. And,
Yeah, it just wouldn't be actually in the park. It's just too difficult with equipment wise and stuff like
Disney
that. But-
supports things like that.
yeah,
you
if
can
we get
sometimes.
the right,
That's
we
right.
get the right sponsor. I'm
That's
telling
right.
you.
Okay,
But
that again, not
yeah,
my job.
I'll look into that.
I
That's-
put this together
yeah.
technically. This is what I do.
Then
You
be
guys
quiet.
do the rest of
Wow.
it. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now because it's
So I do. Go ahead. Okay, so I do want to.
You've been.
Is he good?
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
I turned yours up as soon as you came back to the
Okay.
table.
All right.
So there's two moments I want to describe to you.
Okay.
The first one is something, and this is from the Lost episode from Madman and Dr. Myke.
This
where-
isn't Disney though.
This is not Disney.
This is
is
actually Universal. And I did not know
So,
you were going to go to Universal.
I was not planning on going to Universal. So I planned on just going the city walk and taking my little boy to walk. And when they hit me with parking fee, I was like,
As long
now
as
that
we're
we
here.
paid that, we're going in. So to make a long story short, we end up doing.
You can't with this. You can't.
Okay.
And that's okay.
All right. So
we have plenty of time. We can take as much time as we want with this. That's a great part about this show.
So
we'll just make it a part B if we have to.
Yeah. So Malcolm and Dr. Myke had a very touching moment on one of these episodes that has been lost, that I'm desperately trying to find. But in that episode,
it was a technical glitch.
It is, and we'll
and
fix it.
It may be recoverable, but we have to have people that know a lot more about computers than we do. Especially me. You can take everything I know about all the computers. That's why I don't do the computer part. You can take everything I know about computers, roll it up with a tiny ball, shove it up a gnat's ass, and it's going to rattle around like a BB in a boxcar.
I've heard that before.
Boxcar?
BB in a boxcar.
BB in a boxcar.
BB in a boxcar. Oh, yeah. Well, in this episode...
it means I don't know much.
We know.
I wanted to be... Yeah. Sometimes I mince my words.
Words is hard. We went over that. Madman had described to me a certain moment at a certain area of the park.
Universal now. Again, we're not
Universal.
Yeah, we're Universal. We're not talking about Disney.
And as he described this moment unfolding, it was very touching, very, very sentimental.
It was.
And I understood what he said, and I couldn't really wrap my head around the magnitude of it until. So now I'm in Universal with my little boy, and I'm by accident in the same spot where Madman is, at the same location, and the thought in my head is the exact same thought that he's having, but I didn't connect the two yet. And I'm looking at a spot, and I don't want to ruin that story in case we find that episode.
Why not? But we can always just tell it again. I have no problem.
Do you want to? Why don't you walk me through it then?
Okay.
Why don't you tell it again?
You walk me through it, and then I'll.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, there's no such thing as long story short here, but it is entertaining, and it is
we got time for this.
Kind of fun. We got 9 minutes in this segment, but again, we can always cut it up into another. I'm not worried about that.
All right, go ahead.
That's the magic of podcasting. It's not really as time constraint as actual broadcast radio.
That was a fast hour.
It was.
Yes, it was.
We'll do another part B. Go ahead.
So, when Petey and I got married in 2015, we decided, let's go to Disney for our honeymoon. And it was really nice. I loved it. We had a lot of fun.
And there was a hurricane.
No.
Oh, no. It was different.
Well, it was 2018. Okay. Although every single time we go to...
Oh, you're bad luck.
Every time we go to Disney, something does go wrong.
Yes.
For our honeymoon, we were going to take the Amtrak train down to Sanford, the auto train. Mm-hmm. And we even spent the extra money, so we had the sleeper car and everything.
That's
our
awesome.
honeymoon. Yeah, except the week before we were about to leave.
It was 36 hours before we were leaving.
The week before we were supposed to leave, actually the week we were, it was 36 hours that this happened, but the event that started it was like
on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was like on Tuesday. They had that big hurricane that went through.
Okay.
Damaged a bunch of trees, which fell and damaged the tracks.
Gotcha.
We're supposed to leave on Saturday morning, Thursday evening.
Night, yeah.
Thursday evening.
I get a text at work.
Yeah, and
that they've
Amtrak
canceled.
said that they canceled the trip because the track's damaged. They can't get down there. Now,
you have everything planned already.
Yes.
We have everything planned. How the hell are we going to get down there in the next day and a half?
How we ended up
She
driving.
doesn't fly. Well, she does now.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that another story now. But at that point, she's like, I'm not flying.
Right.
I'm not flying. I'm like, well, then we're going to drive. And that's what we ended up doing. But anyway, that was the first thing.
Right.
Every time we go there, something, well, that was big. But we've had other little things happen every time we go to Disney. Every time we go to Universal, everything is beautiful.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah,
anyway, I still like them both.
Yep.
But I am leaning towards the Universal a little bit more. Actually, probably a lot more.
I'm going to tell you another story there, too.
So anyway,
Disney.
This was our honeymoon. We went down there. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Next year, we went the same thing because we just had so much fun. And I had, up until that
and you
point.
You can't see all of Disney in one trip.
Especially now. Last time I'd gone to Disney before 2015, there was only one park.
Oh, wow.
There was Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
They were like a couple weeks shy of opening Epcot. It was being built, but it wasn't ready yet when we were down there back in 1981.
Yeah.
I was going to say
All
just a
right.
few years shy of, when the dinosaurs died.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
exactly.
Yeah. Whoa.
Exactly.
The covered wagon you could have took down there.
Okay. Anyhow. Jeez.
Rough crowd.
It's back in the days when the monorail was pulled by a horse.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Whatever. Anyhow. So, then 2017, she's like, I want to do something different this year. I'm like, all right, what? Let's go to Universal.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, when I was a kid and when Universal first started, it didn't sound interesting to me.
Right.
So as a result, in the back of my head, I've never
Not
given
too excited.
never
Right.
given
Right.
Universal much of a thought.
Right.
All right, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I know she had taken her kids down there years ago, but I'm like, well, what's there to do if you're not a kid? I did not know. I didn't.
Right.
And she's like, well, there's this. Plus, since the kids have grown up, but they finally opened Harry Potter, I want to go down and see it.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, yay, Harry Potter. Woohoo.
Seriously, he was like that. Yeah.
Woohoo.
That was my
Yay.
reaction when I heard that
cannot
they put it down
freaking
there.
wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, mind you, I saw the first movie.
Right.
I liked it, but I'm like, it's cute. This is cute. It's a nice kids movie.
Yeah.
I'd seen like maybe little bits and pieces of different ones on TV, but I'm like, as soon as I realized I'm watching Harry Potter, I'm like, oh, it's kid stuff. I'm changing the channel because I didn't.
Right.
Okay. So I'm like, but all right, honey. Well, you're right. We're going to Disney twice. Let's do something different. I'm sure something's going to happen and we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
So we get down there and it's nice. And I'm enjoying it. First thing that hit me is when you walk in there and you see like these old 40s era New York streets recreated.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
like a movie set.
Right.
And I'm like, this is kind
Pretty
of cool.
cool.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that is really neat. And one of them, you probably didn't notice. There's one that actually has a Crayola logo on
I
it.
didn't see that.
Like faded painted on the bricks like it would be in that day,
Yeah.
and it still says Binney and Smith.
Really?
Yeah,
I
which was
didn't
the
know.
original parent
Yeah, yeah.
company, but that's because we live here anyway. So we're like, all right, well, we'll go find the Harry Potter thing and get this over with.
Right.
And
And now Petey's into Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes, she is.
Yeah, I
Yes,
started
she
reading
is.
the books to my kids when they were little because
Okay.
my son had some issues with reading.
Okay.
And to get him to read, we started with Harry Potter,
Gotcha.
the first book, and then from there, I just was a fan like they were.
I gotcha.
And maybe if I'd read the books, it would have been different.
Yeah.
But I didn't yet. And I still want to now, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't have the time to read with what I do for a living. But, so we're like, all right, we'll find this. We'll get this over with and then, go find something to do.
Yeah.
And, but I was so far, I was impressed by Universal. So we find this area that looks like London. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I see this big thing called the night bus.
Right.
If you know Harry Potter, you know what the night bus is. It's a
Right.
triple-decker bus, not a double-decker, a triple-decker bus.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, it must be around here somewhere. I recognize that from, I hadn't seen that whole, but I knew what the night bus was. Again, I'd only seen the first movie in bits and pieces, but one of the bits and pieces I saw of one of the other ones had this bus.
Right.
So I knew what it was. And that was particularly hot that day. So I'm like, well, let's get a drink before we, walk around too much more and find this. Went and got a drink. Got like an icy in the cup, and we were sharing it. And you can't drink them fast, so you get a headache.
Right.
So we're sitting there on a bench, like in front of the fountain, and I'm just watching people. I'm people watching. It's what I do. And I see people like walking into this one area, and sort of like kind of going around a corner almost, and then not coming back out, and then other people who weren't them eventually coming out.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, what's this? I'm curious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hon, I want to go look at something real quick. I'll be right back. I walked across, and it was only about 25, 30 feet from where we are. And I walked I'm walking the way these guys are. Well, at first I thought it was like an employee thing. Then I realized, wait, these people going in and out are not employees. They're just guests here.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, let's see what's back there. Come around the corner, go around its other corner because it's hidden from view. It's the secret entrance, but I didn't even know a secret entrance existed yet.
Right.
And boom, I'm staring directly down Diagon Alley. I started to tear up, kind of like I am now, because I remember the moment.
Right.
And it's like all of a sudden I was like 5 years old and just like, oh my God, this is so cool. I'm like, I come run back to her. I said, honey, I found it. It's back over this way. Come check this out.
Yep.
And that was it. I became a big Harry Potter fan real fast that day.
Yeah.
We left that trip with my first robe and wand. Okay, I wasn't messing around. This is cool.
And I was the one no, I'm not spending money for a robe. No, I'm not spending that kind of money for a wand.
Yes, we are.
And he got the wand and he's doing the magic, and I'm like, oh, I have to have one.
It was cool. But she knew that there was a hidden entrance somewhere. I don't know if you knew where it was.
I had never been there either, but I had known there was an entrance.
And she had done some research on it. I didn't because, again, I didn't care at the time. Right. And so she kind of let me find it on my own, knowing how my mind works, that it would make more of an impression. And it really, really did. And
so,
you and I, just the two of us on that show, we talked about that. Yeah.
And we went into a little deeper. But you have an idea. So now, me and my boy, let's fast forward to we're walking through Simpsons area. Right?
Well, I'm going to say, you went down to Disney. I knew you were going down to Disney. And then you're texting me a picture of the little guy, of little G, and he's...
it's on that surfboard.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like, that's not Disney.
That's not Disney.
I'm like, oh, crap, he went to Universal after all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Didn't plan it. So we go through Simpson Land. He doesn't know anything about, so I don't let him watch that. All right, so.
He didn't go to Moe's Tavern and buy him a Flamin' Moe?
I did not.
Oh, yeah.
But now you and I have been talking about, since Pastor Eric, and we talked about Harry Potter, whatever. I've told you I'm trying to watch the movies and trying to get through it. Okay, so at this point I have now,
you haven't been particularly impressed.
No, and now I've seen up to the point with that bus. That's where I'm at the movies.
You saw the night bus.
Okay, so as we're walking past, and I'm walking my little guy through, I see the bus, and I'm like, that head's there, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't want my...
I think it has a name, but I can't remember
what it is. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I don't want my little boy to see it because it's talking to people, and I know it's going to freak him out.
He's so young.
Right,
yeah.
So we stop and get a drink, just like you did.
Although some of the other people sit and talk to in line would freak you out more than a shrunken head, to be honest with you. Let's be fair.
Well, him and I stop and get a drink, just like you do, and I'm putting my body in his line sight so he can't see the head. Just to block him from the
shrunken head doesn't freak him out.
And as I'm looking across the street, I notice people going in to somewhere I have no idea.
Right.
And
they're
not coming out.
Yeah, there's nothing to
tell you what it is. And then there's other people coming out, and I'm like, Gaby,
you went through the same thing I did.
I was like, maybe it's a bathroom. And I'm like, Gaby, you got to go to the bathroom.
That's what I was thinking, too.
So I walk him around the corner, and we hit what's behind that corner. And
I'm starting to cry now because you went through what I went through.
My eyes went straight down the alley, right? And I must have mouthed, wow. Because my eyes were wide, because I didn't, it's the last thing I expected was that, because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And my mouth, dry mouthed, wow. And some lady I've never seen before looked at me, and she was like, I know, right? And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is all back here.
Yeah.
And then my little guy is looking all around, and he's just like, wow, Daddy, and then he saw...
And he doesn't really even know what Harry Potter is yet.
He doesn't know anything about that, no. And then he saw the dragon up there.
The dragon spit fire, yeah.
And, that was it. We went through that whole thing, and then at that moment, it hit me that you went through that exact moment, and you were describing it to me on that show, and everything you felt, it hit me right there at that moment, and I stopped and I called you.
Yep. Well, you texted me.
I texted you.
You knew I was at work at the time. And I said, I know exactly what you went through.
I said, you'll never guess where I'm at and what just happened to me. And Yeah, Madman and I shared a little moment, like right there. And when we got back to the car, we talked on the phone. And
Yeah,
I'm
I called you up as soon as I got out of work. I called you and talked to you on the way home.
Yeah, and
I had my Bluetooth headset on. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out, people.
And I was like, yeah, everything you told me in that episode, came full circle and hit me all.
Wild,
we went through the exact same moment. Yeah. At that moment, and then I experienced it the same way you did. I found it by accident. Yep. And it was super cool.
And now you want to see the rest of the movies, don't you?
I want to see more and see what's going on, yeah.
So do you think that's a common response to the average person?
There's no way to tell that that's there. I mean, without you knowing...
Yeah.
If you don't know anything about it, you still kind of have
to find it. Obviously, even if you're a fan, it's there, but it's still up to you to kind of find it. There are no, how a lot of different attractions have little signs that say,
there's nothing.
This way. There's nothing that tells you where Diagon Alley is.
Yeah,
and yet it's not so hard to find that you went the whole day to Universal. I'm like, I never found it. And I'm like,
but you could walk right by it and have no idea.
But at first,
you went by it.
You're right.
Yeah. But the way that you saw it
is
and
the way that
I saw it
was exactly the same way.
And like I told you,
and you and I were both of the same mind. It's like, oh, Harry Potter,
dumb. Yeah. Now I'm like, and now I'm like, wow, I can't believe that, because it's in depth back there. So if you've never been there,
now go and watch the movies.
Well, now I'm going to, and
you're going to
happens,
see how accurate it is, even now. It's definitely physically wider than in the movies, but the way they do what they call I forget what they forced perspective.
Yeah,
it looks exactly like what you see on the screen.
That was overwhelming. If I'm dry mouthing wow, then I was like, and that lady I don't know who she was, but she just looked at me and she's like, I did the same thing.
And now next time you go, you're going to watch other people walk around the corner and do the exact same thing.
Yep. It's done very well.
And you want to go now, you were telling me.
I'm ready, yeah. And
we go down like once a year, so.
I saved specific things that I didn't do.
You did not have a butterbeer.
That.
You stayed away from the butterbeer.
I didn't go
to any of the shops.
I didn't go in any of them.
Because you want to do it with us, and I think we're going to organize a trip next year. Yeah.
We went down. I went down and did the loop back there, and I looked at everything, and I'm like, okay, now I have to save it for Madman.
And did Petey, you do the whole loop? Did you come through Nocturne Alley?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a PSNORKIS journey?
It's going to be a
PSNORKIS
journey on the PSNORKIS.
Yeah.
But then, the whole thing was, what made that even more was because the lady, when I was describing where I want to take my little boy, she talked me out of the other side of the park where I wanted to take my little boy.
Islands of Adventure.
Yeah, and I'm like, my guy, like he's not going to know anything over here. He's not going to, we don't do Simpsons, we don't do Fast and Furious, we don't do any, you know what I mean? He doesn't know that stuff. So I was more upset with myself at that point that I bought tickets to this side only. And then as we're walking through, and then it hit me, and I'm like, wow.
And the funny thing is, the Islands of Adventure side that has the Hogwarts Castle and the ride through that was what came first. It was several years later that they did the Diagon Alley to where that's where they used to have the Jaws.
Yeah, right. That's
the
last time I was there. Right. Jaws was there. Right.
And like I said, I'd never been there, but I knew of Jaws. Yeah. That was the area. And then they have the train that goes between the two of them, and that's magical too.
Well, I saved that too for us to do.
Okay, dude, we're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah, it'll be good.
She and I are going down next month. Is our normal time, but next year, we'll organize a trip for anybody that wants to go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I think it'll be quite a bit of fun.
One more thing happened to me, and I'll wait till our next episode.
Yeah, we're at an hour 8 now anyway. So
let's wrap her.
We can wrap
and
come back for part B, or just keep going and we'll do the actual editing later, unless you manage to screw that one up too.
Wow. That was a shot. That was a shot.
Shots of fire.
Yeah, I need another legacy coffee. So,
well, in that case, we're going to do this, and we'll come back in a few minutes and do another one, which of course you folks will hear next week.
That was a quick hour, man.
But yes, it was.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff in there that got a bit slow that we can knock out that 8 minutes and make it a nice even hour.
We'll tighten it up.
Yeah.
Good guests. I like
Good
the guests.
guests.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good guests.
Thanks for everybody coming out.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm glad you were up here from Missouri.
Yeah.
You were able to do that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's a lot of
And
fun.
Rocket, you know, you're welcome here anytime now. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy
I'm
it?
having a blast.
I knew
good.
you would. I absolutely knew you would. That's why I figured you'd be a perfect fit
I
for
love
this.
off the cuff.
Yeah.
We want to thank Legacy Coffee because they do help us out. We didn't
Legacy
really
Brewing
talk
Dot Shop.
about them.
Yeah.
LegacyBrewing.shop.
LegacyBrewing.shop. Check it out. There's coffee. There's a lot of different merchandise, and hopefully very soon we'll finally, when the shipments come in, we'll have some PSNORKIS merchandise there as well. So
As soon as the shipping crisis is over.
yeah, exactly. I'm getting tired of the words supply chain, even though there's
me
really no
too.
other way to say it. I'm getting ready to slap anybody that says that word.
Yeah.
I hate catch, and that's what that's becoming now.
Yep. I agree.
There are two things I can't stand hearing anymore, and I just want to hit people: supply chain and mask mandate.
Oh, yeah.
But that's another. That's another
get
for
there.
another. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for listening to this episode of the PSNORKIS podcast. We will be back next week. Until then, be nice to each other. I know it's hard right now, but just be nice to each other, or at least have a very deep hole available to you, one or the other. It's up to you. I don't judge. Okay, yeah, I do.
Yes, you do. Liar.